Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new coaching session with the premium members on Marvel Snap Zone. And this should be a really fun one as we had a new season, a big patch, a new card. So everything is all over the place. And we have some decks that, most people expected to do well. And we have some cool surprises as well. So let's get into it, and then today will probably be a lot of figuring out and trying to guess where the metagame is headed. So, one thing that hasn't changed is Werewolf by Night is probably still the best card in the game at this point, as it's represented in two really good decks. So we have Bounce, which posted the best results this week in the tier list. It's still in Loki as well. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Are you screen sharing? Are you screen sharing?
I'm not screen sharing because I don't have any. Yep, it should be good.
Okay.
So we have Bounce, which has kind of a mixed list. It's a mix of like Darkhawk and Annihilus. Before the change to America Chavez, they usually would choose, but now they included both. Falcon is not in the list. Instead, there's Shadow King. So that tells you how important it is to be able to counter cards such as Werewolf, where we remove a card that is usually considered staple in the archetype and instead put a counter to it. So we have Loki as well, which did a little worse than Bounce, but also very solid archetype. I guess here the difference, I would say, is in the amount of win conditions. Right now, in this one, we have Werewolf plus Loki, basically, where the Bounce deck has Werewolf plus Darkhawk plus Annihilus. So I would guess the two decks function very similarly, except one has a little bit more like gas, while the other one has maybe a more powerful win condition after Werewolf, but it's 1 against 2, so maybe it's a little less reliable. Then we have, in general, like this same concept, but not Werewolf deck, which are Darkhawk deck, and I guess that's why Bounce is number 1, because it mixes Werewolf and Darkhawk. When one thing does well, why not do the second thing that does well as well and mix them? So this is another deck that did really well, and with those three, we can see how strong flexibility is, because all these decks, apart from when they play Darkhawk, when they play Werewolf early in the game, their goal will usually be to disguise their power and be flexible and react to whatever their opponent will do in order to spread points as efficiently as possible. I heard something.
No, you're good. You cut off for a second.
Oh, okay. So these are 3 of the 4 best decks in the metagame. And they show that flexibility is still very important, and apparently even without Chavez, these kind of decks are functioning really well. Then we have the surprise of the week, Galactus, which posted almost an as good performance as Bounce and was better than Loki and better than Darkhawk. My guess is that it's probably a really good way to counter these flexible decks, and a deck that we haven't spoken about yet, but Inchinot was very popular this week. So decks able to play Professor X, Galactus is kind of a reverse Professor X. Like Professor X says there are 2 lanes left, Galactus says 1. But these kind of disruptive decks did extremely well. And if Galactus was the main one, Electro Ramp also did really well with Sandman included. So I guess there's enough of these combo, very flexible decks that Sandman, Galactus have a reason to be played, and that's kind of the battle that is happening right now in the metagame. After those decks, we have Lockdown, which kind of fits the same purpose, except the list hasn't changed, so I guess it's just basically a weaker deck than it was in the past, because it's still running Alioth, and I'm not sure it's that good. well, it's good enough to seize priority all the time, but it still does pretty well. It's a little bit behind like the group of 4 that we just saw, but the disruption, especially Professor X, seems to be quite good against the other decks. Then we have Deadpool, which it's the Destroy Synergy. It's one of the few decks that were not impacted by the patch, so it only makes sense to see it do really well. It really picked up in momentum as the week progressed, because early in the week, there was a ton of Inchinot, and there's both Armor and Cosmo in that deck, so that limited Destroy. But as time passed, Inchinot has reduced in popularity. And actually, out of all these decks, it is the one with the worst performance overall, which meant Destroy had more space, and against the Werewolf, Darkhawk, Bounce, and stuff like that, he was kind of able to match their points when he found Deadpool, but also he had Killmonger be annoying against mostly Loki and Bounce, as they run a ton of 1-costs. But, and that's the very interesting thing about Inchinot, is that there is another list that is very, very close to Inchinot, which posted incredible numbers, and it's this one, which is basically Inchinot, except we removed Leech and Magic, and we have Professor X and Nebula or Jeff. I don't know which one you consider to be the more staple of the two, but if we compare... Oh no, Infinite. I'm an idiot. It's Infinite that was removed. And basically this one could be called like... It's a high evolutionary, but tempo-wise. And I guess in the mirror, it's probably really strong, because it does the exact same thing as the other deck, except it drops Professor X on turn 5, meaning it wins a lane. And considering we show Inchinot through almost the whole game, it probably throws a lot of people off and surprises them with the Professor X. So that probably helped the performance a bit. But for now, it's doing much, much better than Inchinot, which is adapted against. And that is kind of our metagame so far. So if we had to do a recap very shortly, we have 3 flexible decks which are leading the way and are winning mostly through points, although they use like Rogue, Shadow King, these cards that are like that were very strong towards the end of last season, and they stayed in the decks because we didn't find anything better to play. Then we have their immediate counters, which are Sandman, Galactus, Professor X. I'll put Inchinot in the flexible decks. And then once we're past this, we have like the synergistic decks, which are basically doing their own thing. And if they're strong enough to challenge Loki, Bounce, Darkhawk point-wise, they can exist. And if they can't, they cannot exist, which is why we have almost only Destroy able to do so. Phoenix Force wasn't good enough, Move wasn't good enough. Ella didn't have many games to it, but he was doing okay performance-wise. Move wasn't doing that well. And on reveal, I'm guessing, had the problem of Inchinot being super popular and playing Cosmo. And also, did I forget about it? Oh, I think I forgot about one deck. I find it quickly. Because it's not the most interesting one. Still an interesting one. Surfer deck.
Yeah, I've seen tons of that.
There we go. And the other synergy that gained a lot of momentum this week is Silver Surfer, which is doing a little worse than Destroy, but they're kind of in that same category, where when they find what they need, they can compete. But as soon as they don't find kind of like an above average draw, they immediately struggle, and the deck uses Werewolf, so obviously it can develop a lot of points. But yeah, that's about the metagame so far. We have decks that were developing a lot of points leading the way. Counters started to install themselves. And the first that adapted is Inchinot, which kind of switched side, basically. It kind of become a high evolutionary lockdown, if you will, or something like that. Okay, do we have questions or anything about some decks?
One thing that I find interesting, and I don't know if there's data for this, is that the dead zones, at the bottom of 80 to 83, the bottom of 90 to 93. I'm curious if the decks that you run in there are different than the decks that you run above that, because I've been bouncing around 90 to 94, and I've seen so much Inchinaut and so much Silver Surfer, but then if those are kind of good but kind of weak, I'm guessing that they can't get out of those little areas, and that's why they're stuck down there. Um, I don't know if there's a way to sort that data based on level at the time, but
Probably. Nah, the filters aren't precise enough.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
But I mean, the experience is on par with what the data is saying, which is Surfer and Inchinot are like posting worse performance than low key bounce and everything. So probably these deck got a lot of hype in the first few days, and then maybe some people just stayed on them while the rest of the metagame around them adapted, and so now they're kind of stuck because they didn't adapt yet.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have other questions?
Yeah, I agree with what Bishop's saying where I am, because Michael, I'm being a bit further back, but I'm currently in the low 80s at the moment. Not played much today, but I've seen a lot of Inchino, the Surfer with the short deck, because obviously the new season pass card, everybody's wanting to play that. And I've seen Destroy a fair bit. I've seen Junk
Mm-hmm.
as well, but with Scorpion. So
Okay.
I've seen that as well. But yeah, I've not seen low key, not much, obviously, because it's a higher skill cap. Bounce
Yeah.
again, similar sort of thing. But what with this list that you just posted with the Surfer one, Werewolf by Night, I've not seen much. I've seen more where it's like Nokia, Okoye, the the power bump cards, and then Chavez. Chavez quite a bit. People I've seen using that quite a lot.
Well, Chavez has a lot of targets in the Surfer deck. Closed it for a reason.
Yeah.
But if you look at the deck, you're happy to touch Brood, you're happy to touch Shaw. And in the end, I mean, Chavez is a 2-5. It's not so bad. Like, I've seen people run Chavez in Shuri, to be honest.
You've gone again, then.
What?
Yeah. You're Dan. Your
You cutting out, yeah.
sound cuts out every so often.
Oh, my sound cuts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I really need to change my microphone. Just dying. What I was saying is Chavez has good targets, and in general, Chavez is a 2-5, which is good enough. I mean, you just play it like you would play Lizard. You just play it like you would play Medusa. This kind of cards, like, it's just when you don't know what to play as 2-cost, and you would rather have power on your other cards than on your 2-cost. Chavez isn't so bad overall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't seen any Werewolf by Night either. I don't know what they're running in that spot. Maybe uh, the I can't think of his name right now. The 4/3 that duplicates the on reveal. Why can't I think of
yeah,
his name?
Absorbing Man.
Absorbing Man?
Observe Man. Thank you. I've
Okay.
seen that a few times. I mean,
I've seen it too, but apart on turn 6, not that good.
somebody's crazy.
Because
Yeah,
usually, like, turn 4, you want to go Nova plus a turn 3 or Forge plus a turn.
Yeah.
yeah. I've been playing something completely different so far. Something that Glazer put in his deck video a few days back. A tournament deck from Patriot one, Patriot Brood.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I've been playing that, and that's been doing okay. It's just with me, I'm a reluctant snapper. Otherwise, My win rate is really good. It's like above 60, but I'm a reluctant snapper, so my cube rate's not crazy high. But
I've done my missions with for like Cyclops. I've done it with Iron Patriot, and honestly, he wasn't
okay,
doing so bad.
yeah,
The
because
points
not many
aren't.
people are running Enchantress.
Yeah, and I mean the points aren't that high, but I've been running Cosmo in the deck instead of Alias usually, and you just catch a lot of people off guard because there's so many on reveals right now.
Yeah,
Maybe that would help my deck. I was so I did 73 to 96 using a Quake Legion uh, Annihilus deck. And then in 95, I got kind of stuck and bounced around and fell down. And so I actually, interesting you showed the hybrid Temple Infinite, because I decided to try mixing some of the Affliction stuff with the Quake deck. And with this, I'm using like Cyclops and Hulk and a couple of other things. And I've been playing with that, trying to figure out what counters are the best. So I was going to ask your thoughts. I know this is kind of not ideal deck. I know I could probably pick up Loki again and climb all the way back up, but I thought I would experiment since I have the time. Um, but I thought, but I see how the tempo deck and using Cosmo and maybe Professor X I can squeeze in there might be useful because I'm having trouble with a couple of card choices. So, but interesting.
All right. So, because the explanation was rather quick, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna test a lot of decks. So, who is interested in what? Ideally, will represent each of the three sides. So, if someone wants to pick the flexible, proactive side, if someone wants to pick the counter side, and if someone wants to pick just a synergy that's like outside of this but has enough points to compete, we could start playing pretty soon.
Can you show the bounce deck again?
This one?
Yeah, I could either bounce or I would try either bounce or Galactus. I could
Okay.
try either of those. I don't know
What
if there's a.
what do the other ones want to play?
I'm happy to do Sandman ramp and then try the Patriot deck I was talking about.
We could work on the Patriot deck if you want. It's very similar to a Surfer deck.
Yeah, please, if we can.
Can you send it so I can show it on screen and we can discuss it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Not for long. What are you interested into?
I haven't found a deck I've been playing some Phoenix Force, but besides that, do you have a fun deck that you want to try to tinker with? And I would be happy to play that.
I'm very curious to see how this plays out because I haven't had time to test it.
Okay.
Like, found out about it like yesterday. Your list.
Me too. Sounds fun.
We already did this one. We already know about this one, so I guess these two, like, know them already. Lockdown is basically the same, except it's a little worse. Yeah, if we have Bishop on like Galactus and Bounce, I think that's a good one to experiment with. Oh.
Yeah, then I'll post the deck in the group coaching.
I gotta update my server, my client.
Okay, so your deck is extremely greedy.
Yeah, it does catch people off guard, especially with the Iron Man Mystique on turn 6.
Iron Man Mystique on turn 6. Oh, with Ravonna?
Yeah.
Okay, but then if your goal is to play for points, why don't you play the double up? Because like it feels like here you're mixing two concepts, which leads to points. Except, I mean, there's a better way to play each. Because Iron Patriot right now has the upside of taking priority against a lot of decks, because a lot of decks are like either bouncing or trying to be flexible, so they're not going to develop too much points. And you're just being aggressive with the Brood, the Absorbing Man, etc. So then usually the deck will rely on disruptive cards with priority. So it could be Alias. Personally, I was using Cosmo, but I don't know if relying purely on points works with this deck.
Yeah.
So I think like when I see this, I would either go to the double up directly. This one.
Oh, the dark oak one, right? Okay.
So it would like it feels like this one would just be better at doing that part of the deck. Or just go in with the real like Iron Patriot deck and maybe I don't know, like would remove Ravonna, Mystique. I don't even know if we remove Iron Man, but probably including like Chavez, Surfer, and maybe Cyclop or something like that because it works with both Patriot and Surfer. I probably would go one of these two directions because right now, because the better decks are flexible decks, I don't really know if you can compete with them in that front.
Yeah, that does happen because what happens if I don't get priority on this? A lot of the times it's a retreat because the points aren't enough. So there'll be occasions where I'll be mid, like I'll have about 12, 12 points or something on the one because of the Brood, and then the Patriot. But I know I'm not going to be able to compete on the other two lanes unless I've got priority or I've got a Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Where I can get to a locked location or a location that they can't reach. And that can be a problem sometimes. So that's why I'm having to be quite careful in that sense. Sometimes when I'm playing, if I play against Destroy or Inchino, I got no chance with this deck.
I mean, otherwise, you could keep the concept of the Rovo now, but then maybe it's Blue Marvel and Alias that you would remove with like Surfer and Cosmo or something like that, and so you can have like big combos. Because then you could Iron Man on turn 4, Mystique Patriot on 5, and like on 6 Cosmo plus Surfer or something like that. That would be an actual alternate play to the Brood Absorbing Man, but you would still have that idea of I'm seizing priority, I'm playing to win.
Yeah, that makes sense. That'd probably be better, especially if you're trying to climb rank.
Alright, so you'll be our deck building project.
Dan, do you mind taking a look at the one can I post it as well? I'm just since you guys are talking, just kind of like your thoughts.
Where is it?
I gotta post it in the. I just grabbed it. I gotta put it in the chat.
Okay, who's gonna start to play so we can set that up in the meantime?
I built the bounce deck, so I could definitely do that.
Alright.
I have to build the Galactus deck, but I can do that while someone else is playing. So I just posted. This is what I've been playing with here.
This feels like there's just wait. Screen so we can discuss it.
Yeah, I'm struggling with which. I've been kind of messing around with different cards, in different positions. So, I think there's room to remove. But the basic concept that I try to do is lock down, storm one lane, and either win it with Cyclops or Legion, Cyclops Legion or maybe Marvel, and then win lane 6. I mean, win the second lane with Hulk or lock out with Legion, with like a Storm Legion combo.
Okay.
Or mess with them really hard with Quake, but.
The first thing that comes to mind when I see your deck is there's way too much disruption. Like, there's not enough points. For example, you're playing armor just for the sake of protecting Nebula?
I was actually playing a little bit for Destroy, but again, this may be because where I built this deck when I started to build, I was saying a lot of these kind of weaker decks simultaneously. So I may have to just kind of retreat from a couple of those fights to get out, to do the job, do what my deck does better, and just retreat from the fights that I'm just not matched to. But I think that may be meta related, or where I am in the meta right now, or
maybe,
on the
but
location. So
yeah, I think if you're gonna play a deck based on location, like Quake, Legion, Storm are okay, but then you need to invest that direction. For example, like Rogue plus Shadow King plus armor, that feels like it's very much like a lot, and you're always like kind of doomed to find like the matchups that you can. So I would
mhm.
probably like, I don't know, like I think out of just to test it, I would probably remove Rogue Armor and go with like Iron Lad Doom.
Okay,
That would
that would
increase reliability. That would give you another card that works with the locations. Um,
okay.
because right now, like your High Evolutionary is played for Cyclops and Hulk. Like then, like for example, so Cyclops would be, I guess, played behind Storm most of the time.
Correct. Yes.
What happens if we just remove Evolutionary, Cyclops, and Hulk, and you play Jessica Jones, Magneto, and another card? Like, you still get a good card after Storm, you still get a big guy on turn 6, and you just gain one spot because Evolutionary is just doing nothing.
Right. I could probably go in a different route. I was trying to do something different, and like I said, the Cyclops Storm has been really winning. I tried originally with I tried Abomination in there and stuff like that, but it wasn't there wasn't enough negative hits to make it worthwhile. I tried Sunspot and switched that to Nebula because I never passed enough to make Sunspot catch on. So I was kind of just playing with it, but I could try taking out. I mean, the Evo package was an idea. It may not work, but the Annihilation package wasn't working really well either. So I was reaching a stagnant with it. So okay, I can just try changing it up completely. So
All right.
Magneto and cool.
So, who's playing first?
I got the I can go with the bounce hawk deck, right? That was the first one.
Yep.
Okay.
That's, well, I mean, you pick two, so depending. Do you want to play both, or do you just want to play one of the two?
Um, I'd like to. I don't. I'd like to. I mean, I'm fine playing both. The Galactus one is one of the ones I have to build it out, so I can do that while somebody else is playing. I'm kind of. I don't usually play a lot of ramp Galactus, so I'm kind of curious about learning about that one more.
Then maybe do the Galactus. Then
That's fine. I just have to build it. If somebody else wants to go first, then
if you can copy paste, helps in any.
I mean it does. It does make it faster. Hold on. Let me stop sharing and go back to your. Uh,
Does anyone want to start in the meantime, or?
Yeah, I'm happy to start.
All right. Yes. Get going. So what are we gonna play, Seamus?
I'm thinking, shall we try the Patriot one first? I've put
Okay.
in.
Let's go with the Patriot.
Can you see my screen?
Nope. Discord isn't anything you're.
Hang on 1 second. Right, it's loading up.
Right. So can we deck then? Bust it, but I don't know.
This my laptop's taking its time.
We're on your game. We're
Perfect. Right. Hang on. Yeah, I've got these other decks, but I don't play any of them. I'm playing this one at the moment. Let me just share it just so you can see.
yeah. So simply like, are we playing the one that you showed us before, or are we playing one that changed the couple card with to be stronger when we have priority?
Yeah, so I'm gonna play the one that I was playing before, but I've thinking of modifying. Shall I modify or shall I leave it as is and just play it as I'd play it normally?
As you wish, but personally, I think Alioth is unfortunately not good enough anymore.
Okay.
Well, basically, I think Cosmo is just as good as Alioth in the current metagame because most of what your opponent is doing on 6 is unrevealed.
Yeah, that's fine. So do that if I can get to it. Just have to bear with me. My laptop's a bit slow.
I'm
Oh yeah, so
I,
they have got Cyclops in there, and
Oh,
I
so
put
that's the
Surfer. So
revised one. Yeah, we can start with that.
okay.
So that's the Cyclop one. Well, which
Yeah,
one?
so Cyclops and Silver Surfer.
Okay. Bravo. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's fine.
is it out of focus for anybody? Is it just me?
I was just my sometimes this streaming can be a bit funny. Sometimes when I'm doing it from my laptop. This is what I tried to do it from my mobile, but I've got a
Okay.
slightly older laptop.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't me.
Maybe one day the game will have a.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. I did ask a question in the team whether they're gonna when they're gonna introduce console load, because that would be good. So here, not the best of hands. I'm having to end turn. Can't do much. Let's see. Bar with no name, so that sometimes is a bit of bad location. But I can play Ravona. I don't want to hand it over to my opponent, so I'm going to play it on the far end here. The deck doesn't normally reach out. Oh, they've snapped.
Are you happy with staying in this?
Not really, no.
Why not?
Because at the moment, I've only got Brood. I've got Iron Lad and Iron Man.
Oh, you have Iron Man and Mystique and Ravona.
Yeah, so actually I could do my combo, so I could carry on.
I mean, I don't. I'm not even sure we're gonna play Brood because if you consider Bar with no name to be a dead location, you only have 2 lanes to play on.
Yeah. Well, we'll stay in, see how far we go, how far we can develop our game, and then it's a retreat, it's a retreat.
That's interesting.
We'll live in.
Oh,
Very nice.
So I'm thinking I played no playing main Mystique because it's not going to get any points. I need points. Nebula with Machine World. Hang on.
Well, you could play Mystique and copy Ravona, and then you have 3 cost Iron Mans, and you can play them over and over. I don't
No,
know if that's good, but
we could do that.
because otherwise, what are we gonna do? Turn 4, we're gonna go Iron Man. Turn 5. Well, you could play
Put it in
Mystique.
bar.
Yeah,
You don't want to put it in bar none, or
yeah.
you.
You could either play her on Bar with no name because you get no punish for it, and also you could also play it on Machine. You don't know if your opponent can use a Ravona because you're gonna give him a Ravona
Oh,
with 0 power.
okay.
But I like the idea of Bar with no name.
Hang on.
This
Let's
is
see if
good.
it allows me.
That's fine.
I stuck there now.
And your opponent is not playing.
So
Oh,
now Iron Man in cloning vats. I would play that there. That's my thinking. Play it there, and then play it there again.
Yeah, you could Iron Man. Do you want to play Nebula left?
Nebula left as well. I play Iron Man on cloning vats. Nebula left. Then that way I'm not stopping their Nebula from growing. Then next turn I could probably play. Well, I can't play Absorbing Man because he's not going to copy Iron Man.
Oh, and you have a cheaper Iron Man. Junk deck.
Yep. So could expect a Nihilus at some point. Here I'm thinking I could play Iron Man, maybe to compete with them on Machine World, but that might be risky because I'll be playing into their hands by giving them Iron Man.
What does Sentry? What do you expect with?
A nihilist to come down at some point.
Okay, how much does an Nihilist cost?
5.
When do you expect it to come down?
Probably no.
Okay, don't we want to fill the right? Because if they give us the void with an Iron Man, it's kind of bad.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't got a 2. Would we do this?
Mr. Sinister. No, Iron Man, Mr. Sinister. You can do.
You also drop your Iron Man, but I don't. Sure, you
I'll do
would
that.
get. Oh, you would get 20.
Versus -10, yeah, or whatever they say.
I expected. I could do the same on the left, because Iron Man's going to be pointless for them now.
Be careful. They can play the hood and win.
Yeah.
Kind of need to win left, or at least tie it.
Unless I can't do Iron Lad with Mr. Sinister, because Iron Lad could probably pull out Patriot, Cyclops, or Doom.
Doom is a disaster.
Yeah, Doom would be terrible.
Cyclops, Patriot doesn't.
Iron Man and Silver Surfer maybe might be able to help.
Iron Man and Silver Surfer, you would have. Well, you would be ahead on the left because you would have 5, 7, so you would be at 14. But if they play Hood plus something, you would lose. But I think you still probably do. Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
nice.
They got scared.
You just took a long enough time that they think you're really thinking about this.
Actually,
That's
no,
funny,
it was an Iron Man. We played Sentry. Sentry left was really, really good.
Oh yeah, that would have made sense.
Sentry, Mr. Sinister was more points. We were at 50.
Yeah, we
Surfer
wouldn't have had the
plus Iron
10 then,
Man.
minus 10, yeah.
Surfer plus Iron Man would have been 7. Would have been a. But see here, maybe we got caught up in the Iron Man. Didn't develop it.
Yeah.
All right,
It worked out right.
Let's keep it going.
Yep.
Let's keep the ball rolling. Sometimes with this deck, I'm even questioning: do we? It's good with Iron Lad, but maybe we just Austin like a kind of a Surfer deck, but different. I'm not sure if it's.
Yeah. Well, sometimes how it's worked for me is when I've had Doom, I've played Absorbing Man, and then played Doom, because I've copied it. Sorry, no, I've played Iron Lad on turn 5. He's copied Doom, and then turn 6 I've played Doom, so I've got 30 power spread all over the place. So it's worked in that sometimes. Here's a skip with nothing to play. So now I could probably play Vibranium Mind. The rocks, they don't grow. The Vibranium doesn't grow from Patriots, so I can't really play.
No, they don't grow
play
because
Vibranium Mind.
they have an ability. Plus, Darkhawk is extremely popular right now. Might want to know if they played that before.
Yeah, I'm thinking of playing Mr. Sinister on the right for now, just to start developing, to get going. And
Do
then
we have
next turn,
another
I'm
2
thinking.
cost than Mr.
No, we've got Mr. Sinister. Ravonna is a 2, and then
we have
Forge, and
Ravonna.
that's it.
We have Ravonna.
So here I could play Cyclops and Fury's Lab for the +8.
Yeah.
And then
The fact that we have
potentially
Mr. Sinister there is really, really bad, but
it's still okay because we could play Iron Man on turn 5
we'd have
on
16.
curve,
16
but
on
then Silver
Shuri's Lab
Surfer on
is
6.
really bad. You have Onslaught Citadel. I would expect to play Iron Man left just to win it.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't thinking of Iron Cities. I was thinking more.
Oh, well,
Thank you.
they're pretty nice.
Yep, very nice.
Oh, jeez, that's good.
I could play Iron Lad here on Onslaught Citadel to see if I can cheat out the Patriot.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have
And there's a
much else to do. There's also Steel Brood in the deck.
yeah, an Absorbing Man.
Yeah, but Absorbing Man does nothing.
Yep.
So if they play Magic, what do you expect from them?
They're gonna be running the Inchino deck. Oh, interesting. They could be doing the other one, the Silver Surfer Shore deck. Here I'm tempted to play Iron Man now. And then copy with Mystique on the right for 24 power.
Isn't it better to play Ravona so you can both at the
That would be a point. Do this. Yeah.
same? We don't really. We could play in the middle next. Okay, so I guess you're probably playing very similar.
Mm.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm thinking if I do this, this.
Are you gonna play? I would play Doom
Okay.
for now. Not sure you.
Oh, hang on.
You go
So
Iron
play.
Man left, Mystic. Wait, no. Oh, you could Doom and just turn of Iron Man. That's actually pretty strong, and your right is gonna be extremely strong because you have targets for
So play Doom now in the middle.
what's left in your Storming Man
Man and Forge, yeah.
Forge. Then play Doom to the left. You'd rather
Okay.
draw Forge than
Yeah, true. Rogue, okay.
happy about. Oh no, you're not.
No. Yeah, yeah. Which is fine.
Not really.
Oh. Because I could do Patriot and Mystique.
Yeah, but right.
Mm. But it boosted Doombots as well.
Yeah,
The middle one
you're
is
you're
not going to
15
win
behind
anything.
in the middle. You're not catching up.
Yeah, no chance there. It looks like this is a retreat, maybe?
Hmm.
Because I can't see us winning from here.
Can't
Unless
it
we
just be Iron Man middle, Iron Man left? Think they're not gonna catch up on the right?
yeah, because it's 13, they'd have to play something superb on there. Unless they can do Brood and Silver Surfer.
You
Well,
already
they've
have
already played Brood.
So,
Yeah, let's try that.
so I mean, maybe Onslaught on their side, but
You'll lose.
yeah. So that's 56 on yours, right? If I did that right, that's pretty good on the
Yeah.
left.
Yeah, I mean Onslaught is gonna be good, but you just boost Blue Marvel. Like Onslaught is
Yeah,
really a boost to the middle, which we don't care about.
yeah. I see. Because
Let's
Magic
see.
is okay.
Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Hey, we win because of the tie. No, Marvel 5.
Oh, well.
This is that rogue. That rogue was really powerful. Maybe.
Yeah. Because that messed us up.
Well, I mean,
How was the effect?
if we didn't play Doctor Doom, maybe he would have stolen Iron Man. Or
Mm.
I guess it's just unfortunate that you had a mirror where the opponent just plays the counter card and you don't.
Yeah, that's the first time I played a mirror. I've not had a mirror before. In all the games I've played this week, that's the first mirror. That's funny.
Or
They're,
maybe the
they're
deck is picked.
directly watching you.
Yeah, there must be.
Alright, let's get the last one in.
Yeah, that's fine. Would
Because
that?
we're talking these games are forever.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll try to be a bit quicker.
No, that's fine.
I was
That's fine.
thinking
No
that's
problem. I'm not saying we need to change anything. I'm just saying the games are much longer than the average game playing alone.
fair enough. Yeah, with me, what I was thinking, if that had been on me on my own, I would have just retreated there. As soon as the rogue copied my Ravona, I would have just retreated.
Why? They didn't snap. They didn't steal anything impactful. Like it's just because Rogue loses you the game, so you just
Mm. It's just I'm trying to be like, how can I say, not trying to be as risk averse as possible, even though
yeah. But
obviously it's
like
only
here, you're not assessing risk. You're just like, oh my god, Rogue is bad. I'm leaving.
yeah, that makes
Because
sense.
the thing is, you have to realize that to enter in the game, you pay 1 cube. They play
Yeah,
Rogue. They didn't snap. You lost a cube. Like literally, you told your opponent, "Hey, here's the cube. I don't want it." If you're gonna retreat when they snap or on the last play of the game. Like there's no point retreating earlier. You just tell your opponent, "Hey, good luck. Yeah, here, have a cube."
okay, that makes sense. Here now, I could flip. I think I'm brooding on the right on the Abbey, so I get the draw, and then I'll get absorbing
Brood on
man,
the right
hopefully.
doesn't give because you're not putting exactly two. If you want the draw, you have to play Mr. Sinister. But you could
Yeah,
just play Patriot on the right and next turn you Iron Lad and get the.
could do.
Like you're gonna Mystique Iron Man if you do anyway.
Mm.
Okay, that's probably Inchinot.
More than likely. Hopefully.
Inchinot plays Leech, so you want to get your cards out of your hand.
Yeah. So here I got Iron Lad.
Yeah.
But then turn 5 I'll have to play Misty, well, Iron Man, definitely for sure, with Mr. Sinister. Well, I can't play Mr. Sinister with Iron Man. Tempted to do this, play Brood here. I'll play
Why?
Brood.
What's the logic of playing Brood of Iron Lad when you have 4 energy?
Yeah, that makes sense. Or if I do this.
You have to make such complicated. Like right now, it feels like you're trying to do something that makes no. Drop Iron Lad on the right. You wanted the card. This is the reason why we played Patriot last turn, just to get the card on the Abbey, which is what you wanted. Because like right now, it feels like there's no logic to what you're just offering plays. Like one of them is gonna look at you and like, hey, I'm gonna make you win. Build a reasoning. Have a way of saying this is gonna win me the game.
Yeah, that's true. I could play Brood and Brood and Mr. Sinister. Brood on the left, Mr. Sinister.
That's much
I've
better to
already
do
got.
Brood and Ravona, so Iron Man or Cyclops. I think Brood.
Brood here and Ravona in the middle.
Right.
Oh yeah, because I can't do anything to it.
Yeah, and because you can't play on reveals there, so you know you're not gonna play Mystique there. You know you're not gonna play Silver Surfer there. You have to use the face space.
Yeah, sorry, my laptop slowed down a bit now, so just trying to get to end turn. Well, reach.
Yes.
Well, that's the card that made us play stuff in advance. Then we went back to the combo. So, but at least all our cards are Patriot now.
Yep.
What's left in our deck?
So we've got Absorbing Manforge. That's it now. Yeah, Doctor Doom's already on the board. So I could do this here with that, and then Doctor Doom maybe final turn.
Probably. We'll see how we can compete. Okay, so you have to expect 30 points.
Yeah.
But you're ahead on every lane, so that's good. Because depends where they play She-Hulk, but you beat She-Hulk on out of 3 lanes.
Mm.
If they play She-Hulk left, any
Yeah, if they play it right, I win there by 1 point. If they play, is it depending on where they play Infinite as well? If they've got it or Hulk.
Infinite
Yeah,
and Hulk doesn't change much.
I think you have to gamble on their math skills, right?
Yeah, I think you just have to Doctor Doom Metal and hope you don't have the nuts or place bad. Which is entirely possible. Like, this is not a retreat. You have much more than 25%. Okay, so here the bad turn was 5.
Okay.
We should have just played her. Well, if we played Iron Man, they would have just attacked us on the lanes.
Mm.
Well, if we had Iron Man, we could have just played everything in. I feel like here the big problem is we're too slow to get set, and so we don't have any punishes.
Okay.
Like, we're trying to do our combos, we're trying to do our things, but our combos don't lead to enough points, and you constantly play afraid of your opponent countercard. So if you're always playing afraid, there's 2 possibilities. Either you're naturally afraid, and we need to get over it one way or another, or that means that you don't think your deck is good enough.
I think it's more I'm cautious because of like I've got so far to in my mind because I've got so far. Then I will slide back down. I have that in the back of my mind, so that's why I become like overly cautious sometimes.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you're constantly cautious, you constantly lose the cube you have to pay to enter in the game. And over time, paying that cube.
J'aimerais faire nettoyer notre maison. Je n'ai jamais cru aux esprits ou aux présences car jusqu'à aujourd'hui rien ne s'était présenté.
Anyone else hear it?
Yeah.
You heard it?
Come from?
No idea.
That was French. Oh, okay. Let's take a look at the deck again and let's think. Because like Ravonna, Iron Man, and Mystique are okay, but that when we think about it, the goal of the deck is to attack all lanes. And these two they help they help attacking 2 lanes. But then you need to make a decision. Like either you play a deck that wants to win 2 locations, or you would play a deck that wants to compete on all 3 and win 2 out of 3. But here we're mixing 2 things that don't go together.
Okay.
So maybe it's just better to go to a more like simple stuff, which I don't know, America Chavez, Cosmo, Marvel, and just play on every lane. It's like we're first when we don't get the early stuff, but when we get the early stuff, that's kind of part of the RNG that happens. But when we don't get the early stuff, we're always running behind with the deck that wants to be ahead most of the time. And the thing is, we rarely have the ability to put up a lot of points on the Iron Man lane or something like that. Like, we have Brood. Brood needs a lot of space. We have Doctor Doom, which spreads power across our lanes. So either the deck just doesn't work in the current metagame because people are attacking 2 lanes, and the way to build this deck to attack 2 lanes is just not strong enough. Or if we think it's good enough, probably need to play it the way it spreads power. So we just hope that on the 2 lanes our opponent is playing, we're winning one of these 2, and then the third one is just free for us because they don't play on it. See what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, in the current situation, I mean, every time we played Ravona, we had to kind of take a step back in terms of tempo, and that always opens the opponent for a chance at playing a disruptive card or something like that, and we get punished.
Yeah.
Do you want to give a try to the other build, just for one game, and then we'll move on to someone else. Everyone to
Yeah, that's fine. Can you send me the deck code?
We could have just changed it like in the collection.
Oh yeah, I'll do it now. Actually, I'm gonna build it.
We just remove Mystique, Iron Man. We get, I guess, Chavez. And we probably get Chavez, Cosmo, and Blue. We could leave Iron Man, and we just have like Chavez. It depends if you'd rather have Iron Man or Cosmo. Iron Man is a better high roll. Cosmo. Well, Cosmo would probably replace Cyclops with Iron Man. Because we still need to beat them on.
Oh yeah. Put this in.
Yeah.
And then where are you?
Well, Blue Marvel is going to be much.
They have to fix that favorites bug. It's really frustrating.
Well, you just double click it. Oh.
Yeah, but you have to do it every time you change. You know, if you change to a different number, cost, you have to click it again.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating.
Okay, and then take out Iron Man.
No, I mean, Iron Man and Cosmo feel the same purpose, which is help you win on a lane. You could keep Cyclops. Like, it's fine. Like, basically, the concept of the deck is you want to win 2 lanes, but you're going to play on all 3. And then one of the 3 lanes, like, basically, what's going to happen is your opponent's going to play on 2 lanes. You're going to play on 3.
Okay.
The lane where they don't play, you just win it automatically because they don't play. They don't have enough points there to compete.
Yeah.
But then, because you play 3 lanes and they only play 2, the 2 lanes they play on, they should beat you because they invested in 2 when you spread your points around.
Yeah.
So you need a card that's gonna balance this, and that can be Iron Man, that can be Cosmo, that can be Shadow King, that can be She. Like, it's just finding a card that just says on the lane that we're competing, because basically you're giving him 1 and he's giving you 1. On the lane that decides who wins the game, you need to have a really strong card on. We have Iron Man. Iron Man works.
I was thinking Shang-Chi could make it.
You were looking for what, sorry?
For Shang-Chi, for Iron Man?
The problem with Shang-Chi is you can't play it on turn 6.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, right now, the only card you're gonna Shang-Chi regularly is Werewolf. Might as well run Shadow King.
Oh yeah, that's the point.
But let's try it this way. Let's try it the points way. So we see how good it is. We don't have that much time for.
That's fine. Did you want me to try that?
Yeah, let's play a game. I mean, and if you're too like scared about your ranking, I'm fine playing it on my account.
No, I don't mind.
But then
I'll build it. No. I'll put it in the deck and see what the Is this it?
I don't know. What are we doing?
Are we gonna play that in the Patriot?
Aren't we
That's
playing the Patriot deck?
Yeah, that's why we can play this.
Okay, don't understand where we're.
Oh no, sorry, I thought you meant.
Visible. Oh, well, you probably get 3 points because it's probably a bot.
So here I played somebody. Okay.
Yeah, you can play Chavez. Like, there are a lot of good targets in the deck. Also, Iron Man is a pretty good target for Chavez.
Yeah, that all. Now you
That's good.
Fireworks. So, how do
every time you play Patriot
I like Patriot?
in
Like,
the
we could just play Patriot, then next turn Iron Man, Doctor Doom, explode.
I think I'm playing Patriot on the right, and then not gonna use this against.
I mean, you could play Sinister on the left because it's difficult to hit. Because the card cost -1, you should be flexible. It's just in case they change the look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll play that for now. At least to build up our turn.
Okay, so what are they? Because Forge can.
Could be destroyed. I think. They play 2 cards.
Okay. Nope.
Okay, so that's destroy and they don't have Deadpool. Want to just snap them and punish them for not having it?
Could do.
Oh wow, that's
Okay.
good.
I'll stop them, then I'll play Forge in the middle.
Well, this turn I would Forge in the middle, Iron Man on. Just tell them they're not gonna win the right. Because you have Doctor Doom then, so you're gonna play a lot of points. And left turn 6. They found Deadpool.
Yeah. I'm sure Doom in the middle. Doesn't make a difference to you.
Can't split. It makes a difference. Played on the right, you pass on the bonus from Patriot.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, that's what I mean.
Was there ahead? Can still impact it.
No.
Alright, let's play everything.
Do that. There. Where my laptop like up. Just there.
I would brute.
Okay.
It's 2 more points.
So like this.
I think I would go. +4 on the right. Left is strong because it's not that easy to
I don't mind.
Kill their death. Null, Deadpool, and Scare. 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 Well, this is where Cosmo would have much.
Mm.
Wow.
But that's kind of the thing with this deck. Like, right now we're playing the points way, and we could see over like 4 or 5 games that points wise, this deck struggles to keep,
Yeah,
because you're showing a lot to your opponent. Like, we're forced to play proactively, and we're not really punishing anything afterward because we're just point. This is why I think I like cards like Cosmo, this kind of things in these kind of decks, because your point ceiling is not high enough. I think that's the main thing to take from short session we had with the deck is the point ceiling high enough.
Okay. So definitely then Cosmo will probably be it. But do you think Cosmo and Armor would be better? Cosmo for Iron Man and then Armor maybe for...
I don't really see the point of armor. Is it just because you lost to a destroy that you're thinking about armor?
Yes, because a lot of the times the meta come up is destroy most of the time.
I mean, your goal is to beat destroy. Just play Inchinot. You already have Cosmo and armor in the deck. You don't have to build something for.
Okay.
Because like right now, it feels like you absolutely want to play Patriot, but you also want Patriot to beat everything else, while it's clearly not on par with a lot of decks.
Yeah.
Like when you have a deck that's not as strong as the others in terms of points, you have to make choices. You can help against some of them with tech cards, but you can't solve everything. Like right now, we saw that there is a lot of matchups that we can't solve because we didn't have the cards for it. Like we only tested the we're gonna develop a lot of points, and we got punished for it several times. Yeah. So now, the only thing you can do is you can help certain matchups, and you can retreat other matchups. But thinking that you're gonna solve every matchups where we were behind, it's gonna take too many cards, and then your deck is just gonna be a counter deck, and then what's the point of playing Patriot? If your goal is to counter, just play a Sarah control deck, and then you can fit all the tech cards in it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because Patriot obviously is more proactive card rather than.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Patriot is gonna reward you for finding cards that are good with priority. The way we thought about Cosmo. But otherwise, like Patriot forces you to play cards in it. Like you have to play a certain amount of cards alongside Patriot. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm playing Patriot in the deck," and like 2 cards that are gonna benefit from it. Not gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to have 5 to, I suppose, about 5 cards that work with Patriot to make the deck.
They're released yet.
Yeah.
All right.
That makes sense.
Who's up next? Bishop or not for long?
Thanks. Right then.
I'm willing to go.
Go.
Yeah, go for a bishop.
All right. So Bishop, are we playing the Galactus deck?
Yeah, we're gonna try to Galactus deck.
Right. I'm also curious to see how it does outside like high infinite, where it's just literally like bounce low cock.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we won't be seeing that today.
We pull trick of just snapping and hoping they.
I didn't know that was a thing, until Glazer mentioned it.
Jesus Christ. Well, now it's really bad.
Wasn't it okay to just +2 to Jeff? Because you could have gone Nico.
No,
Jeff.
I hit the wrong. I just hit the wait. My finger hit the waiting button.
They snapped.
It wasn't. Yeah, they did.
Want to leave?
No, I'm going to retreat. Now, again, my finger accidentally hit the waiting button. That was a complete mistake on my part.
Okay.
Yeah, that was fine. I was like thinking of snapping, and then So my finger moved. So we'll just do that.
I'm not really sure
That's
what
fine.
Shang-Chi. I guess it's for when we play Galactus early and then
Galactus,
priority.
yeah.
But I've imagined they're.
Okay, we got Galactus. This time I will end the turn early.
We have a Loki avatar. Maybe we get a punish. Oh yeah.
Oh, looks like Loki.
All right.
Should we? So now this deck you said was really good against Loki, right? So then
No,
that's no. Oh, I see.
don't
I thought you
snap.
said it was good.
It's supposed to be good, but there's a lot of variables.
Okay. So now the Psylocke is there for. I mean, there's no. Jeff into Electro is our goal. Is our plan here, correct? Okay.
You
And
might
we
get
gotta
a
keep
rock
open.
added. Oh, you can't Galactus that location. Might
Right.
as
We
well
gotta
play
keep the
cards
lanes.
there.
That makes sense.
Like we're not trying to fight to give them the rock. We're just playing cards there because this is where we're gonna get a rock.
Okay. So Electro Seno.
I mean, Jeff is flexible. Electro is definitely not flexible. I mean, if they don't play metal, you're happy. You don't get the rock because it's a tie. If they give you the rock, you don't want to lock two.
Okay. So collect there.
So you basically know where you want to Galactus.
Vibranium mines. Okay. Ooh. Hmm. So Professor X middle or because I don't see much use for the Psylocke.
There are use for
So
Professor X? Professor X
oh,
just helps them play in the right location. Like, if you
okay.
lock middle or right, you just make it easier for them to play left, which is
Okay.
the thing you want to avoid.
Okay. So then let it ride then.
You just play Psylocke middle.
Okay. Oh, because we can still Jeff out of it. Yeah, we can move the Jeff. Duh. Okay. So Galactus left.
Wait, can't take. I was trying to see if there was an Orca cheeky play where we get priority and trade to Alias. Alright, Galactus it is.
There has not been much Galactus at this level, so I don't know how much. I mean, I've seen a few Electro ramps, but
I think they're gonna play Loki. The question is where. As long as they don't play Loki left, we're good.
maybe they're going to play.
Left. They felt Galactus and had no option.
Okay.
Hey, really? Did the game just crash? Oh, literally left.
Galactus off. This information.
We'll never know. Yeah, that's the perfect finish with Aliath.
Yeah.
Probably have to wait for. Did you really snap someone that wasn't there?
Yeah. I already paid the 1 cube. I might as well get 4.
But you're not playing right now. You're just punching a wall for 4 cubes.
Hey, My
Cube
time
where you
is
get them.
valuable.
Yeah, you gotta take the cubes where you get them, Bishop.
His argument is, oh, I could lose 2, but she's not there, so maybe unless it triggers the escape, but that's okay.
Well, in the meantime, let's discuss the deck until that timer runs out.
Okay.
Because I can see what basically every card does in the deck, but I'm kind of wondering, what does Shang-Chi do? Like, what are the situations where...
Would it be like, say, you played Galactus turn 5, they played like, I don't know, and they've not had priority, and then they played like a strong card. They're on the same lane, but obviously because you had priority, Galactus went off, and then on turn 4, turn 6, you could play Shang-Chi to kill off.
Okay, but what are strong cards that Shang-Chi kills in the current metagame?
So things like maybe Sentry or Red Skull, or the She-Hulk.
I mean,
Or
if we're playing against a Sentry, I can guarantee you we're gonna Galactus to right lane.
Right. Okay.
And She-Hulk doesn't come down on turn 5. That's the turn they pass in order to play.
yeah,
So it's a Hawks deck of some sort. Not our favorite. So probably Galactus Center if given the chance.
So
Okay.
I mean, Galactus Center is a really good way to lose. Unless you can
Oh,
Goblin before, but...
before, right. So we could, so let's see, we're going to be 4 next turn. So if we Psylocke now, or wait for Psylocke on 3 and maybe Hobgoblin on 4.
I think I would try that.
Yeah.
This deck is about taking chances. I mean...
So Psylocke Vault.
Yeah, because you want to trigger miss. Do you want to Goblin or Professor?
So you can see what they're.
Because the only way that works is if they don't play in the middle.
Right. But if you Hobgoblin right, I thought you'd Hobgoblin right. And then you can try to Orca left or Orca middle.
The good thing with Goblin is that later on you can Galactus middle. The bad thing with
Yeah.
Goblin is if they play anything in the middle, you lose. You can't support it with Miss More.
Right. So maybe Hobgoblin right.
No, this turn you
And then
play
you could.
middle. The question is, what do you play?
Let's see. So Professor X middle so that you can add Marvel next turn.
Well, that's the whole question. Do you play Professor X so you can support it with Marvel in case they play something? Or do you play Goblin so if you draw Galactus, you have a 100% win?
I think we throw the dice on the Hobgoblin.
Eh,
We haven't defined our deck yet. I should have snapped, but I didn't. Oh well.
why should you?
I mean, because 50% chance, right, of getting a good, very solid play.
How do you know that was 50%?
Or actually, it's probably even better odds than that, right?
Idea, like, depends.
Okay.
Like, they could have dropped Darkhawk in the middle.
yeah. Wasn't that a 1 in 3 chance that they would have?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I said. They have 3 places they could play, so that's what I said. So 33% chance it would have gone off, I guess. So or 60,
No, then
yeah,
it's
60%
66.
chance it would have gone. 66% chance it would have gone off. Yeah. Okay. So we have middle. So I guess it's Marvel. Marvel Center doesn't get us much. We need to fill something to the left. So Wave left?
Yeah, it's highest amount. I mean, it's either wave left or you play Miss Marvel middle now, so you can Orca to the right. But I don't think Orca to the right will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try this. Oh, they retreated.
Ah, alright, this deck is way too good out of 2.
They've expected. Yeah, 1 cube each. I gotta snap more.
Oh, you snapped the last one, but only when they left.
That was it's a very brave, bold snap there.
Yep.
I missed it. I should have snapped earlier. I should have snapped before when we thought they were leaving. Okay, so Alioth again. Marvel. Vibranium Mines, is that a... Man, we've seen that a lot.
Yeah, featured location.
Oh, okay. I missed that at the beginning.
Dan, you know the featured location. Do you suggest like building a card and playing towards that on whatever day the featured location is, or do you suggest just playing whatever deck you're playing and sticking to that?
To be honest, on days of featured location, I just play Conquest because I hate them.
Question. So here, Electro, I've seen other people do this. Electro Bar Sinister?
If you have something to play afterwards, yes. Otherwise, no. Because, I mean, Miss Marvel Bar Sinister is pretty good, I heard.
Yeah.
So now would you... So
would just
I guess there's no
Jeff right.
benefit. Jeff right. Yeah, there's no benefit. I often Jeff Center, so Jeff Bar Sinister when I play my other deck, so having to understand that different approach. Like I said, I've seen people Electro the center, so it's kind of boom, boom, boom. Okay. What is that? Where would that be? Be 5, 6, 7, 8. So it'd be 8 on next turn, which is not good enough to do much of anything. So, okay, so we will Electro behind Jeff. Is that the Electro behind Jeff or into Vibranium Mines? But behind Jeff, yeah?
Probably. I mean, people
Okay.
don't seem to play a lot on Vibranium Mines, so I'm gonna leave that empty.
For a possible win spot. Okay. Yes, this is probably lost lane, which is fine. Psylocke.
You have to do it now.
Hobgoblin left.
I mean, you could legit. Can we try to win right? Like, if we Hobgoblin the right, that have a good shot of winning. Because I
Depends what they do
think
with it.
I think if you miss Marvel left, you just need any card on the left. So I kind of like Hobgoblin to the right. Because it's unlikely
Snap?
Miss Marvel wins middle unless they Silver Surfer win. Because they have a 2 that becomes an 8. They have 8, 6, 4, 2. So they have 20. So that would be a tie.
We also have Shang-Chi for Dakin if it blows up.
I don't know why. I think they're gonna play Killmonger and the Shard.
Oh,
So I just thought, play Killmonger and the Shard. They'll do that.
Do they armor this lane then? They have to armor the lane, yeah? No.
Oh, they're
gonna
gonna
play
kill
Killmonger.
Monger. Absolute stack Dakin.
Yeah, turn 3. Turn 6, I think they're gonna play it.
Oh, you don't have Prio.
Professor. I don't have prior.
You don't have Prio.
So then I can't Alioth left either, so it's gonna be so if they don't have prior, Shang-Chi right?
Would you not play Miss Marvel now? In the middle?
And then
Wait. Shang-Chi right is interesting. Well, you could play Miss Marvel and move Jeff to the left. Then you would have Prio, and then you just play Alioth in the middle. But you can't, and that's the problem. Because if you play Miss Marvel middle, next turn they just have to play middle, and they beat you. I really like the Shang-Chi idea, to be honest. I really think it's pretty smart. Here, I think.
If they kill Munger now, if they don't kill Munger, then
Otherwise, you just miss Marvel. But you could miss Marvel now, but just not move Jeff, so you don't have priority. That works too.
okay.
Because what we don't want is not priority. So in case they don't kill Monger, they do it next turn, we're okay. Okay,
If they kill Munger, okay.
but still fine, because they need to
I
play a
mean now
lot. So we win the right,
it's
and they need to win. They need to get 23 on the left. That's a ton.
yeah, because you just have to move Jeff.
Yeah, that's why it's a ton for them to match.
Yeah,
It's a pretty big Dakin.
it's a very big Dakin.
I was asking what's the use of Shang-Chi? Found it.
Shang-Chi?
Big Dakin.
Okay, so
Jeff.
or I can play Psylocke, either one.
No, you
They're
can't.
both
You have
twos.
Electro on the board.
Oh, that's right.
If you could play Psylocke, we would have played it a long time ago.
Okay. Mhm. Nope. Dunno.
Jeff in the middle. Yeah.
That's only 12 in the center then. Oh no, I'm sorry, the surfers both bump each other, right? 2,
Yes,
4, 6,
Nakia is
19.
gonna lose you. You're gonna have 20.
Oof.
Oh,
Well, we lost because the Nakia touched their surfer. Because I'm pretty sure we
yeah.
would have won the tie. So, let's think. See, this is where we need to stay on the last screen to try and figure out a way if we could have
Oh,
won this.
center.
Because we knew from the very beginning, we knew they were going to surfer on the last turn. So maybe if we trusted our instinct to go Shang-Chi on turn 5, we could have tried Alioth in the middle on turn 6.
Mhm.
That could have been a win.
Yeah.
Alright, let's try to get the last one. Then we'll go to Not For Long.
I will say one thing that's nice about this uh, season. It was that I don't have any going up and down in the 90s. I feel like no pressure. It's really nice. Oh look, Galactus on 5. That's very nice. So should I snap the peak? I think so.
Oh, you have a 2/6 Alioth. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, and a 5/6 Galactus. So and it missed the Hobgoblin, which I guess would have been interesting. What does that do there? What does it become? A 1?
No, I think doesn't it become a 6 or something like that because it flips in it.
Which
But
one?
I know the Hobgoblin
Hobgoblin would become a 0.
0/5. So that's not
Whoa.
very good. Oh, now we need the Shang-Chi. Okay. So I assume pass here.
Probably. We're just gonna wave next turn and hope for the best.
There we go.
I mean, they shouldn't play in the middle. That looks like a Lockjaw deck. Want Electro into Marvel into Galactus? Wave into Galactus. Oh, we could Electro into Galactus. That might be better.
So Electro.
Which lane you know you're not gonna Galactus?
Offside Citadel. I figured that one out. So that's could be good. Because now we can Galactus center and then Alioth behind it, right? And
Alias,
kill everything behind it.
yeah, Alias destroy cars behind invisible. Who snapped? You or them?
I did.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
otherwise we would have snapped. Because that's guaranteed win. Because Alias just kills everything behind invisible.
Yep.
Okay, that was a good game.
Kneel before Galactus.
You just punish it with a hobgoblin too. No.
Will you play Aliat last turn?
Yeah, why
No,
are we
this is
playing
only
it
5.
now?
I'm sorry, it's only 5, so I don't know. Orca.
Orca or Goblin, as you wish. But I like Orca. It's a lot of points.
Yeah. Because goblin if we don't wanna if they stack it for some reason. Now they can leave.
Maybe, you know what you should have done? Maybe you should have played something bad. Maybe you should have played Shang-Chi or something crappy so they actually...
Bait him.
Alright, well, actually the deck didn't do so bad. We lost the 8-cuber to Nakia and Silver Surfer. And that was a game that we could have won. But there were a lot of spots where the deck looked alright. Okay, not for long. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Playing with the Evo deck. All right. I already built it. This one?
Yeah. No, I'm just showing it for the video. Or...
Oh, okay. All right. Going at it. Oh, look at this. What a crossover. Armor here is... Oh, Sunspot's good.
Sunspot is much stronger. Yeah, it should be okay in the vault.
Actually, isn't the hot location the Vibranium mines?
Doesn't matter. We just play there on 6.
Well, Forge probably means Darkhawk.
Forge means... Yeah, so what?
Vibranium mines gives Darkhawk +6.
Yeah, I know, but that means you're gonna play Sunspot and expect Sunspot to win on his own?
I guess it saves 6 power on Darkhawk.
Why don't you just go Sunspot left, Armor left, Cyclops left, and then just give them Vibranium Mines and just Armor and just She-Hulk middle? And also, like, you can play middle and hope it goes to the right.
Oh, I didn't realize you're playing Safety Blade?
Yes.
Hey, what location?
What do I want to do here?
They're gonna be... I think you could Nebula because they don't run. So Nebula is also a tree except force them to replay. And you know guaranteed Nebula gets +1, gets +2 on the last turn.
That's good. This is +4 if I leave it. Just trying to do math tonight. Oh, hands full. So it's Loki instead. No collector, no werewolf. I have what I want. I think snapping here is the good move. Because my Hulk's bigger, my She-Hulk's bigger, and the left lane is also just mine.
Yes. And you're passing
Hopefully-
one energy. So
Yeah.
next turn you could just
I mean, except for Strange Academy, right?
Yeah, it would have to be on Carmitage. Or I guess it doesn't have to, but I don't think I want more power on the left. Carnage? Okay.
they might be playing the Nihilist package.
Or they picked it up off of
It's Maria.
Maria Hill.
Oh, it's Maria.
Yes.
Shocker
It's
is left guard.
yes, but it's way more points to just pass. Because Shocker's plus 3, 4, 5,
How is
6.
it more points to pass? Next turn you can't play
Yeah.
She-Hulk plus Hulk together.
Oh, no, yes, I can't. Sorry, I had it in my head.
Wait.
Hold on, isn't Shocker right? Doesn't that get you? Isn't it free?
Yeah, Shocker on the right is better because it's gonna reduce Hulk by 2. Right.
Oh, it's free. Oh, right, it's free.
Oh,
In
other
Kamatage.
right. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense. Mine as well. There's no reason. Doesn't matter where I put this, right?
Yeah, it's good to play. Like if we assume they don't have Killmonger, that allows us to gauge how much points they will have and then decide. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Snow Guard, 4, 6.
Sure.
Their hands full.
That's.
Loki.
I mean, it's Safety Blade. He's trying to win. Or trying to break the meta when he's trying to keep exact same.
22.
Oh, that's good.
So they can play Jeff Hulk plus some amount of 1-drops. And that's like the best thing. And that's 2, 4. We can beat Jeff. So Slam Hulk. I guess it's just Slam Middle.
I think I would. Yeah, if they
You
took,
would go right.
Wait, if they took your Hulk, it's a 12, right?
Yeah.
Then how do they beat 22?
24 actually. Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, they don't.
Yes. Mm-hmm. 10, 2, 13. Cool.
That was a good turn. Gotta give them that.
There you go.
Alrighto.
That's a win.
Yeah, a big one.
And now you can make a thumbnail. Not for long.
Oh, oh, that was an interesting drop. Oh, they must have. I must have been one of the people who didn't get their rank reset. Well, I just dropped from 190 to 500 after winning against Safety.
Safety Blade, he knows people. He sent an email.
Is that part of the creators program? It's just to.
Probably. I'll
Dan,
tell him.
what is your insight here?
I'll tell him not to show it on.
Hey, that's the good cards. All of them. Jeff's plus 3. Zabu. Shocker is good. Shocker gives me a really good last turn. I like this one.
Shocker works. Shocker works. And then you have Cyclops. Yeah, it just works.
Kind of doing what the deck does. What do we got here?
Two
Oh.
cards.
That's good. That's just, I mean, that means no 2 Darkhawks. +3 energy is way better than 2 points.
All right.
Fine.
They are
I
also
love
doing their
rocks.
best. So because they Mystique Zabu, that might be the double up, but then I don't understand why they played Darkhawk Sword.
What is the play here?
Have you cleared Vormir?
I mean,
No, I have not.
It might sound stupid, but maybe it's just Hulk right or Misty Hulk middle.
Do you think they play Shang-Chi?
They could. Wait, you don't? What if you just play Misty middle and pass? And next turn you have 9 energy and you can She-Hulk plus whatever you draw in your deck except Professor X.
Could I play High Evo this turn? That's 5, leaves me 3.
You won't be like this High Evo cost you She-Hulk next turn.
Okay, so toss this.
If you want to activate Vormir, you could also play it right and not activate Vormir, but I think I would activate it.
Yeah, I like that. We got Rock Slide. Yeah, those are rocks. Many rock slides.
Very.
I like She-Hulk left, Hulk right. Or would you go?
Everything, right?
I can't play High Evo.
You're short by 1, yeah.
What would it be? Would you move Jeff? Where do you move Jeff though?
Well, move Jeff right with the Hulk.
And you just abandon middle? How many cards are in their hand? How flexible are they?
3, and they can definitely play them all. I would imagine with Zabu copying.
Yeah, but what are they? They have priority, so Shang-Chi and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, would you go Hulk right, Jeff, She-Hulk She-Hulk middle, Hulk right?
I think I would Jeff right, Hulk middle, She-Hulk left. You just make one little difference, but you're ahead on every lane.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh, no, clicking.
Rock is a +1.
Doom. Oh, Rock is a +1, but
it wouldn't have mattered, but it's still
points.
1 point.
I kind of forget that playing rocks is good. Oh, 8 cubes.
Let's go. All right. This deck is delivering so far.
Professor X is not good, clearly, because we can't draw it, but
actually, it's great. He understands that the deck doesn't need him, so he just stays in there.
Chavez.
Honestly, like when I did my missions this week, I just threw Cyclops in Iron Patriot and never drew it, and that was exactly what I wanted to do.
That's what I did. I threw Shaw in there too because I was just trying to get those done. Those were the 5 games I played Shaw this month so far. Might end up being the last 5, but
all right, let's get the last game in.
Oh, okay. Yes, I was just jumping out.
But yeah, I don't think Professor X is a go-to game, but I think when you hit a mirror or something like that, we're so happy.
Is it? Yeah, it's good in the mirror. I like Leech a lot. This is a good hand too. Ooh, Ant-Man. That's a bad card.
That's a bad. Consider that there's New York, so you just play it on the right in case it's in. You don't care. You can reposition. Usually, when there's New York, I just play on the unrevealed in case it's an unplayable look. And then otherwise, if it's a location that we don't care about, we can always.
That's a good call.
So we know when they play, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where are they putting Cosmo. They're not putting Cosmo under armor, but I also think
Why
this
not?
is
Wait. Why not? You want your Shocker to reveal 100%?
Yeah.
Then play it on New York.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, why would they play Cosmo? And also, if you're afraid they might play Cosmo and snipe you, maybe snap next turn.
I'm feeling like with Ant-Man, that's not my problem.
Well, honestly, the ongoing deck hasn't been doing so bad.
Let's see. This is -4. Okay. But this is okay. Skip, because I can play both of them. Wait. Would you She-Hulk then Hulk here?
I like to think about it.
But we can do both of them next turn.
And I'm trying to math if there's something better than like Misty Jeff that more.
Well, yeah, the Sunspot just soaks.
Yeah, I know. But they just like to take seconds to count it. A lot of the time it's completely useless, but it's a habit to have.
Seems like a fun habit. I'm not doing any math this week.
we lose a lot of time doing it.
That's Claw. Okay. What is my spectrum math? I'm not moving anything. 2, 4, 6.
The way they presented it is pretty simple. They either move everything or they move nothing. Because they need an empty lane.
Yes, and my Shocker is already winning left. So if they want to move everything, they are more than welcome to.
So I think for you, it's very, very simple. I think there's 100%.
Okay, let's see. Can I find it?
Oh.
I like Hulk. Ooh. Okay.
Oh no, it's not 100% because Onslaught would be. Because Onslaught Metal is +6 to the right and +6, and Warpath also. No, but it's 100% because you would win left and right then. Yeah, there's 100%.
Okay, I'm not seeing it. Is it Hulk middle, She-Hulk right? Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Because if they play Spectrum to the right, you middle and left. They play Onslaught or Spectrum to the middle, you right and left. And if they start making it extremely complicated,
okay.
Alright though, this deck took a lot of cubes. It took all the cubes that we lost in the previous games.
There you go. You're welcome, team.
Teamwork. The guy that's infinite already just steals the cubes from everyone else.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's the cycle. All right. Yeah. I don't know. I guess Professor X is still a fine game plan at a 5. I guess we never drew it.
Yeah, but we never needed it either.
No, I'm just trying to think, like, could anything else be better in that slot? I'm happy without Magic in this deck. I'd rather play Nebula over Magic or Cyclops, whatever one you want. Every day, I think those are better cards.
Honestly, looking at the performance of the deck, I think the deck is fine. I don't think Professor X is like needed in the deck, but I think it just makes you ahead in the mirror. In the mirror match, the opponent passes on 5 and you Professor X. Like, the mirror matches would be very simple. You check where they play Sunspot and Cyclops, you play it on the other lane, you Professor X the third lane, where nobody has points, and then on turn 6, you just slam the lane where you already have Sunspot and Cyclops, and because you both are slamming the same card, you win just because you had points already there.
Okay. I mean, just thinking, could it be Leech because it just -10s on the She-Hulk?
I think it's valid, but I think the difference between Professor X and Leech is Leech puts you extremely ahead on turn 5, but you can't necessarily snap because if they Leech as well, it's 50-50. While Professor X is, I win a lane.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
And I think like it's not really the strength of the turn itself, it's the knowledge that you have and they don't.
That you can go and Professor X that lane.
Yeah, because
in their turn too. Okay.
It's like that's the thing is like if they Leech, they also lose 10 on She-Hulk because they didn't pass.
Oh, so yeah, at the end of the day, that doesn't matter if we're both doing the same thing.
Yeah, the only way they beat you is if they Magic and Leech, and they can pass 6. But then you just don't pass 6, play your Hulk or She-Hulk, and do what they do over 2 turns, except like you just lose the power on the Sunspot. But in exchange for 6 power on Sunspot, you got a lane with Professor X.
Okay. No, that it definitely sounds like, especially because there is so much of it, a good mirror breaker.
I think. Like, another mirror breaker would be to play Legion instead of Professor X. And you're just like, hey, we're both gonna pass. Nah, kidding, I'm just playing Legion.
Oh, that actually seems like a much better idea.
Yes, the problem with this is you need to play Legion on 5 because if they Leech, you lose Legion.
Yeah, and if you don't have Jeff in hand, I mean, I use that all the time because that's the only way I can beat this generally. And you have to have Jeff, in hand or a good chance of drawing it, right? Or you have to be very far ahead.
Why Jeff?
So, I just find that. Oh, I mean, I'm sorry. Well, I end up usually often Legioning the wave, but I mean the.
Yeah, but neither deck are playing Storm in that scenario.
Well, I do use Legion a lot to beat the timeout, the pass. That's usually where I snap. But I guess if you're not running Storm, then nobody knows you're carrying the counter to that.
But yeah, I mean, I think the point of this deck is just look like Inchinot and actually punish. And I think Professor X does a better job at punishing, but if it was just the mirror match, maybe it's Legion. But
well, I guess I'm thinking outside the mirror match.
I think outside the mirror match, I like Professor X much better because Professor X punishes Werewolf as well.
Werewolf's a real card. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Alrighto, I guess we're gonna end the session on this note. I will cut the YouTube video right now. Thanks to anyone that did the full 2 hours with us. As usual, if you have questions, feel free to join us on the Discord. You don't have to be premium to ask a question. Obviously, just tag me in any channel, and I'll make sure to see it. Bye bye, YouTube.